To recap what we have learned in session 1 and session 2. In session 1, we have learned what is big data, why we use big data, what are the three V's, the three characteristics of big data, and what is the difference between big data and data science. Okay. And in session 2, we have learned how big data is being used in the industry and data ethics. Okay, so in this session, we will be learning some more concepts in big data. So let's get started. So one, yeah. So the first topic is data logistics. So in this, I will be explaining you about data logistics topic. So our first topic is types of data. Like I have told you in previous session that we have three types of data, that is structured, semi-structured and unstructured. Now I will be explaining in more brief and explaining through examples what is structured data, semi-structured data and unstructured data. So let's get started with structured data. The structured data, it is the data whose elements are addressable for effective analysis. So it concerns all data which can be stored in database SQL in a table with rows and columns. So this means that structured data is the data which has elements and which can use for further analysis. So these type of data are stored in databases in rows and columns such as SQL, PostgreSQL. Okay. So for example, in structured data, we store information such as names, dates, addresses, credit card numbers, stock information, geolocation. Geolocation means location of an object. So geolocation, I'm explaining in more deep dive what is geolocation. Geolocation is when we are like moving somewhere and we are like tagging something on a map. That is geolocation. That objects on a particular location. So these are all examples of structured data. So let's continue with semi-structured data. So semi-structured data is the data which does not conforms to the data model but has some structure. It means it semi-structure had data but it do not exactly to the data model that a structured data has, but it has some structure. Semi-structured has the model and the whole structure. In semi-structure, we have data model, but it is very less structure. In structure, we have data model and it is whole structurized. But in semi-structure, it is not. It is the opposite. It has like no data model, but it has some sort of structure. Okay. So these type of information is not able to like store in relational databases for the organization perspective. So in for these type of data, we they a user safe the files in JSON, XML, CSV files. Okay, so this is all about same structure. So now I will be telling you about unstructured data. So now I have told about structured, semi-structured, now it's structured, unstructured. So unstructured data is the data which does not conforms to a data model and has no easily identifiable structure such that it cannot be used by a computer program easily. It means unstructured data is the data which do not has a data model and do not have a defined structure. So if we do not have a data model and defined structure, so it is obviously like we cannot store some data very easily and cannot be used by computer programs. It will be very difficult for program to have some unstructured data. So it is organized in a predefined manner or does not have a predefined data model. Thus, it is not good fit for a mainstream relation database. It means that it do not have any predefined model and it is not good for relation databases. So for example, the data stored in unstructured data is email messages, word processing documents, videos, photos, audio files, presentation, web pages. So this is all about the three types of data. So now I will be telling about batch processing and stream processing. I don't know that you have listened about batch processing and stream processing, but it is the most important part when we are learning big data. So now firstly I will be telling about batch processing. Batch processing is the processing of a large volume of data at once. It means the data that is processed on a huge quantity, it like executes in million seconds. Batch processing, so it consists of million of records for a day and can be stored in various ways like file, record, etc. In various ways, like we can make some warehouses and we can distribute that data into various parts. So it is a way to process large amount of data that is collected over a period of time. So in batch processing, it processes a large amount of data at once. It consists of million of records for a day and can store variety of ways like file, records, and there are so many things. And it is a way to process large amount of data that is collected over a period of time. The old data and the new data, that is the whole data, and it can process at once. It like it executes its processing in million seconds. Okay, this is about batch processing. Now I will be telling about stream processing. So stream processing is a process to analyze data that is streaming from one device to another. Okay, so stream processing means that if we are analyzing a data from a wearable watch to an application, so that is stream processing. Stream processing analyze the real-time data. For example, for I have a Apple Watch, I'm receiving some calls and messages, and that data is automatically going to some application of Apple. So that is the data that is being transferred from Apple Watch to the iPhone app. So this is the definition of stream processing. So it happens as data flows through the system with no compulsory time limitation on the output. So I've told earlier right now that it is the real time data. It happens as data flow with no compulsory time, means it has no time limitations on the output. It gives on output on a real time basis. Okay, so these systems do not require large amount of data to be stored. Why? It is a very good question. Like, it do not require a large amount of data to be stored because the real time data is changing the data continuously in the backend databases. Okay, so this is all about our third session. So I will be back on my next session and we'll be starting with some new topics in big data. Thank you so much and stay tuned.